Tired of sifting through Costco Complete ID reviews, trying to decide if it's the right identity theft protection to keep you and your family safe online? If I've done my job, this video will bring it to a close. Costco members know that they're getting quality products at a great price. And when it comes to identity theft protection, you don't even have to buy in bulk. But hey, what's stopping you? While Complete ID is not quite as good as Aura, it's definitely one of the acceptable options of the 7 identity theft protection solutions I've used. It checks all the boxes in many of the major areas, and where it comes up short, I think it's a compromise you can live with. But before you sign up, check out my links in the video description for my latest deals and recommendations. Whenever I find something new, I'll make sure to update that for you guys. Now I'm going to charge right through the fluff so we can get to the good stuff. I promise I'll keep it brief. Like 30 seconds or less brief. I'm shooting for less. My first gut check with any identity theft protection solution is their customer support, and Complete ID passes in flying colors. I'm talking about knowledgeable agents who understand their customers and go out of their way to get to the root of your issues. Why do I even care? My experiences with the most recognized brand in identity theft protection have been awful. And when you're flipping your ish because your bank account got drained, you don't want to be dealing with that. Complete ID has you covered. Shout out to Jasmine for having my back. How am I doing on time? I think that was less than 30 seconds. To get up and running with Complete ID, you input the personal information you want it to monitor, and it'll send you an alert if it comes across your information on the dark web. Now I gotta say, the Complete ID was a little bit slower to the punch in pulling up my existing dark web alerts when I signed up. Most of the other identity theft protection solutions sent me dark web alerts within a day or two of signing up, but with Complete ID it took a little bit longer. Just something to keep in mind if you decide to enroll with them. The other thing worth noting is that the extent of the information they allow you to monitor is somewhat limited. The biggest thing is you can only monitor 4 email addresses, which is just not enough for me. Beyond that, you can monitor your social security number, phone numbers, driver's license and passport numbers, medical ID numbers, bank and credit card numbers, and membership cards. If that sounds like a lot to you, well, it's not really. Many of the other companies, like Aura for example, allow you to monitor more types of personal information, and in many cases more of each type of personal information than Complete ID. It's not the end of the world, but again, something to keep in mind. And just how good is Complete ID's dark web monitoring? I'll show you what it turns up for dark web hits for me in just a bit here. But real quick, I want to go over the rest of Complete ID's monitoring capabilities. Complete ID doesn't offer any public web monitoring or opt-out requests, although this isn't a standard offering. Most companies I've used don't do this, and the only ones that really do it right are Aura and Identity Guard. So if you want to cut down on robocalls and junk mail, you'll have to contact data brokers directly and submit opt-out requests. And while Complete ID doesn't monitor utility accounts, they do offer mail change alerts and criminal record monitoring. So if someone uses your name during an arrest, you'll get an alert. Complete ID includes 3 bureau credit monitoring on all of their plans, so if someone tries to open a credit card in your name, you'll get an alert. All plans include monthly credit scores and annual credit reports from all 3 bureaus, and they even have a credit lock to prevent unwanted inquiries with the click of a button. This puts them ahead of the pack in terms of credit monitoring, alongside Aura. Like most identity theft protection companies out there, Complete ID's plans include transaction monitoring. If you link your bank accounts and credit cards, you can set transaction thresholds and receive notifications of any charges that are over the limit. And if it seems like a fraudulent charge, you can get to the bottom of it right away. Some other nice perks of Complete ID include a VPN, a password manager, and a safe browser. While I think dedicated solutions for these will probably serve you better, if you don't have them already, Complete ID will get you up and running. Complete ID also allows you to monitor your social media accounts, so you can get notifications if your activity starts to go against community guidelines. Usually this would be indicative of somebody getting access to your accounts and using them for malicious purposes. This is another nice touch that's definitely not a standard offering with the other identity theft protection services. Now for the fun part. Drum roll, please! Let's see what Complete ID turns up for me on the dark web. Typically I monitor all of the same personal information across all of the identity theft protection solutions I use. However, since Complete ID only allows me to monitor 4 email addresses, I make sure to leave out 2 that don't turn up any dark web hits across the other platforms. Lucky for me, I don't have anything too serious leaked out there on the dark web, at least not yet. For the most part, we're looking at login credentials from various websites that have been affected by breaches. In total, Complete ID returns 14 dark web alerts for my personal information, and of those 14, 8 of those are unique. The dark web alerts are for login credentials from websites you probably know, like Adobe, MySpace, and Canva. There's even a leaked password for one of my Gmail accounts, which explains all that weird stuff I was seeing a few years back. I've long since changed my password, but take it from me if you haven't already. Don't use the same password across multiple websites. You'll save yourself a minor to major headache down the road. The remaining dark web alerts are from compilations, which is where someone graciously collects all the login credentials they can find and puts them in one central location on the dark web to make life even easier for identity thieves. And how does Complete ID's dark web monitoring compare with other identity theft protection solutions? Well, it could be worse. Identity IQ turns up absolutely nothing for my personal information, and Norton's beloved LifeLock turns up a total of only 8 dark web alerts. While all of these hits are unique, LifeLock doesn't even find my leaked Gmail credentials. Tisk tisk. But it could also be better. Aura turns up a total of 18 dark web alerts, 9 of which are unique. And Identity Force turns up 20 dark web alerts, 10 of which are unique. Note that dark web monitoring isn't a perfect science, and usually each of the identity theft protection solutions are turning up some hits that the others aren't finding. While Complete ID could perform better in this department, they're turning up enough that it's okay by me. And while the quality of a company's monitoring is important, you also need to consider what they offer for threat resolution. We've already discussed that Complete ID has an excellent customer support team, so you know you're starting off on the right foot on the day that you truly need their help. And in the event that you're a victim of identity theft, Complete ID's plans include a designated restoration specialist to help you get back on track as painlessly as possible. And in terms of financial backing, Complete ID's plans come with up to $1 million in identity theft insurance, which is pretty much the standard and baseline offering that I see for most of the other identity theft protection services out there. There are a couple of companies out there that offer more, and the only one I think is really worth it is Aura. They offer up to $1 million in identity theft insurance per adult, which is up to $5 million on their family plan. Worth noting is that the most you can cover with Complete ID is 2 adults and 5 children, whereas with Aura you can cover up to 5 adults and unlimited children. And when it comes to price, it's a bit difficult to compare because most of the companies use a convoluted tiered structure. Each tier unlocks a different set of features. Like Aura, this is not the case with Complete ID. Their plans are straightforward and comprehensive. All the features are included on every plan, and the price you pay only varies based on how many people you're covering. What I can say is that for a comprehensive plan like Complete ID offers, it's one of the best deals out there. That said, you do need a Costco membership to use Complete ID, so if you don't have one already, that's definitely going to impact the price. The most comparable identity theft protection plans are going to come from Aura, and I do think they have a slight edge over Complete ID in terms of both monitoring and threat resolution. And while you get a slightly better price with Complete ID if you pay monthly as a business member or a gold member, Aura is a bit cheaper if you pay annually. And of course, that's not including the cost of the Costco membership. That's also before you apply my discounts, so make sure to check out my links in the video description for my latest deals. That might be the tiebreaker. All in all, I think Complete ID will treat you well, but I do recommend you check out Aura before making your final decision. If nothing else, you'll know how green the grass was on the other side. You can check out my in-depth review of Aura right here on this channel, and I have tons more reviews and head-to-head comparisons both published and in the queue, so stay tuned.